So a few months ago, I made a video titled Dating in DC, talking about how there are more women than men at the club, and that gives them this disproportionate advantage where they now kind of act and behave as if they're the prize. And a lot of people either agreed or said that I was male centered. And I basically was like, okay, I will never talk about this on the internet again. And then I was scrolling on Posh and I came across this. So apparently this weekend there was this event called Women Love Beards. Essentially what it is, and I will read you the description from the organizers. Basically, they say in order to maintain gender balance experience, the men get in for free and the women pay $35 for entry. So this is the men's page, and then I'll show you the women's page. There's a whole separate page for women to pay to be in the company of men. Guys, I fear we've lost the plot. I mean, I get it. This is how they're solving for it. But when I said that there's a gender imbalance and it's making men act like they're the prize, this is what we get. Anyways, I refrain from having any comments on this, but all I will say is if I ever went to an event and then they made me the face of some shit like this, I'm suing. Your mama's getting sued. Your daddy's getting sued. Everyone's getting sued. Oh my goodness. And this would be so cringy, like as a woman to be like, hey, I paid my $35 to come see some men.
Woo! What's going on, y'all? Nick here. And I'm with my brother.
Break your back. This is James. What's up? How you doing? This is the Eugene Brothers. Welcome. I appreciate everybody. How you doing, Nick? It's a glorious Friday.
It is. I'm doing good, man. As you guys can see, women are definitely getting desperate out here. I mean, we literally have women that are paying $35 as per this TikTok user because they just so that they could see men. I guess, man, you guys, y'all holding down the fort. Y'all holding the line real hard, man. Y'all making it tough on these women. What was your thoughts on this video, James?
Desperation? No, that's not desperation. Because if the men paid, what, we're desperate to go to these clubs? Nah. It's just gender equality. That's it. You know, the women were always treated as the prize. Sometimes it's nice for the men to feel like the prize too. You know, we always got to pay for everything. So now this club is a very interesting reverse model. So where the men get in for free, women got to pay. What's the problem? I mean, don't women pay for designer bags? Don't women pay for cars? I mean, women even pay to get inside male strip clubs. So what's the deal? What's the problem?
No, honestly, I think what we're going to see as we go further is that there is no problem per se. I think the biggest thing is that what happens when there are attempts to try to attract more of a male audience inside these clubs again, and it simply isn't working. Because these girls are essentially paying $35 because they want to actually interact with men. And, let me just allow this next video to speak for itself because y'all gonna see that pretty much.
Okay, guys, hi. I'm here for a little review for the Let's Love Beards party hosted and curated by a Black-owned company called I Don't Do Clubs. You can follow them on Instagram. I've been following them for a long time, okay? And I like their content. I like what they be posting and like having all these little different events. When I found out that they was coming to Chicago for this party, it's like they've been traveling to different cities for this party. They finally was coming to Chicago, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, let me talk about it." Yes.
Now, before I even go further, I would love to hear from you guys because I think this woman is a fairly attractive woman, right?
She's beautiful, yo.
So with her being, as you say, beautiful, she's attractive, but yet she was still willing to pay $35. So she's willing to fork up some money just so she could meet men. And she went to that event that the previous lady was talking about, right? Must love beards is what it's called. So now she fucked up the cash to go to one of those events, and let's see her experience.
But anyway, I go, right? And you're not gonna let you ask me on whatever, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I go to the party with my friend and it just wasn't what I expected. Unfortunately. Like I have a few things. So anyway, I'm gonna make this quick. I ain't gonna talk too much. I feel like I look cute today, so I'm just trying to stall. Anyway, so the rating that I'm gonna give it right now is probably like a 4 out of 10. Yeah, it was that bad, unfortunately. I'm not gonna say that the party in general is like that. I do think that it's probably better in other cities, but when it came to Chicago, it was not that. It wasn't giving. And my reasons why is because the women to men ratio was crazy, like 8-1. It was so many women in there. So many women. The men didn't even have to pay. This is what pisses me off. The men didn't even have to pay. Yet, the men didn't show up. Where's the men? That's the first thing. Second thing is.
So this is what I mean, right? It's like and we've seen, I'm gonna make her, continue to give her review, but we've seen this happen even with like apps like Bumble, where it's a role reversal, right? Like the women have to like on the guy's profile. I think only recently they actually started changing it because again, it wasn't working, right? Because majority women majority of the time they like to be the one being pursued, right? So here they try to flip it up, and lo and behold, we still have the phenomenon like, where's the men? And this is what I mean by desperation, because not desperation from the standpoint of like, how dare you actually pay to actually see the man, but more so just like they want, mind you, she's an attractive woman. You would assume that guys would be lining up. Nope. That's not what's happening. She's paying her money to see men, and the men are still not showing up. So what's taking place here? I think that's the thing.
I think what's going on is always been an imbalance in ratio. There's always been more women than more men, period. You got to understand that. I think women need to understand that. It's always been an imbalance. If men, first off, women live longer than men. That's number one, statistically proven. Men go to war. Men take on more dangerous jobs. We are more susceptible to danger and injury and death. So, of course, the ratio is going to be in balance. So women have to deal with that. They have to understand the ratio. Right. Duh. And men, and another thing too, men don't have the same interests as women. So you may not catch these men at a bar. They're probably doing something like a sport. They may not be in a club. They might be in a sports bar, hanging out with their buddies, watching football, watching basketball, drinking beer. They want to play video games in arcades, right? They want to play the foosball. They want to punch the thing to test their strength. That thing?
Yeah. So they have different interests.
Different interests, yeah.
The DJ, so they had a major DJ that's from Chicago playing. He's a great DJ. I love him, actually. He raised us, as my friend said. He raised us. He did. But he played too much slow music. Like he was like, playing some trap shit and like, whatever, just like a little mixture of stuff in the beginning. But I didn't go to the beginning because I got there around like 7 o'clock. But he played too much slow music, which it already is too many women for one. And while we want to hear that, it needs to be appealing to everybody, like including the guys, because that slow shit, nobody want to hear that for too long. So I feel like that could have been better. The other thing is little to no beards. Okay, I'm talking about little talk on me right there, little talk on me right there, maybe a little chili bean over there. It wasn't giving beards. But there were some handsome guys there. The few that were there were some handsome guys. But just, I don't know, it just wasn't giving. And I know that they use must love beards as like a promotion to bring the women in, and the women did their part, but the guys weren't there. They weren't there. I don't understand. Like, it was crazy. But anyways, my rating is 4 out of 10 for those reasons, and I would totally try the party out again in like another city. But what I do want to say is, Chicago people, we are a special breed of people. I know everybody think that they special and they're different, but no, you literally have to sell Chicago people. This party should have been promoted better, I feel like, and I feel like that's why a lot of the guys didn't come. They don't follow pages like that typically, to me. But it's like you needed to have some content creators, some other like influencers and other like party promoters, like local promoters, to help promote this party. And I feel like if they did that, it would have been a better turnout. But I don't know, like that's my rating. So yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the problem. I'm gonna tell you the problem right now. How to fix this? You see, their problem is they didn't invite me. That's the problem. Cause look at this magnificent beard, huh? Look at this specimen. No taco meat. Everything is good.
Hey, it's kind of funny, but I was just about to say that. Hey, fellas, the beards are in. Chris Brown. I know Chris Brown ruined it for us all, but hey, it seems like the beards are coming back. So
The
grow them
beards
beards.
have the beards have always been in. You a man. Grow your beard. This is proof right here that you're no longer a kid. You're no longer a child. This is proof that you are a full-blown lion. You hear me? You need a pride. That's what you need.
Hey, I think what's interesting though, before we go to our next one, is that she says she's willing to actually go again. So I mean, guys, these women, they dishing out money to actually meet y'all.
In all seriousness though, I think sometimes when you have that ratio where it's like women outnumber the men, especially in a small confined area, it could be intimidating for men to actually walk up to the girl that they like, because now they're being on display and all the girls are watching him. So it takes a strong individual to walk up to a girl knowing that everybody's looking at him, because now the girls is going to be looking like, hold up, why is he approaching her? What's wrong with me? Why he didn't come to me? And now suppose if the girl that he likes rejects him and he wants to move on to another girl, you're going to be like, oh, it's very tricky. It's very tricky. This thing right here. It's so tricky.
No, you made a good point, man, because honestly, I didn't think about that dynamic, but it could be very intimidating. But hey, let's check out what this girl has to say.
If you were blessed with a beard, never get rid of it. I'm so serious. We don't like when y'all do that. It doesn't have to be the biggest beard in the world, but a beard is a beard. Don't get rid of it if you were blessed with it. Think about it like this. Just because you look good doesn't mean that you can just get rid of your beard. That's there for a reason. That's like the icing on the cake. How would you feel if pretty girls that just happen to have a nice booty, it ain't the biggest, might not be the biggest, but it's back there. I got one of those. So how would you feel if somebody like me said, you know what? I have a nice face. People think I'm attractive. Let me just get rid of my butt. I don't need it. I already have the face. I don't need the butt anymore. And I just got rid of it. Like, it's not the biggest, but it's a really nice butt. And I just got rid of it. You would look at me sideways. Like, why would you do that? God blessed you with this nice little round booty that just sits there. Why the heck would you get rid of that just because you think you cute? No. Y'all wouldn't like that. Y'all be like Franklin Saint when he was crashing out there the last season. And he said, why would she do that?
Hey, it's interesting because I played that for like comedic humor, but on all seriousness, I think there was even a time where in the Bible where I think there was like a cat that got captured from David's army. He got captured, and one of the humiliation rituals that the enemy did was they shaved off his beard and they released him. And when he came back to David's army, I don't know, maybe David was, I'm adding a little bit of jelly, but David was so disgusted, he was just like, yo, just grow back your beard before you come back.
You see, the thing is, first off, these black sisters are beautiful. My goodness.
Yeah.
Like, they're absolutely stunning. Know what I mean? But to go back to the topic, right? I know I was joking before, but in all seriousness, there's a reason why evolution, biology, nature, or God, whatever you subscribe to, created the beard, right? There's a reason why we get older our bodies expand, we have more muscle, you know, we get taller, our voice gets deeper, and we grow the beard. These are all physical signs that you're of age, that you're an adult, that you can manage manhood now, right? There's a difference between a boy and a man. And this is one of the biggest signs of it, your beard. Now, I know a lot of men keep saying, you know, it's scratchy, it itches me. This is what you do. You allow it to grow to a certain point. That way it doesn't itch you no more. Or you apply oil in it so that way it doesn't itch you. Sometimes it gets too dry and then it itches you after after all of that. But allow it to grow. This is why it doesn't itch, because it's normal now.
Yeah,
It's normal.
You're saying that something very interesting because, I think there's an aspect where some men, they were almost conditioned to try to take off the beard. And I think a lot of it has to do with the workplace as well. Back in the day, a lot of times, especially black men, like they want us to be very clean cut. They we couldn't grow out our hairs as much. We had to look a certain way so that we could be considered presentable. But I think in today's age where, there's been so much retaliation, and because of DEI, to as much as people want to hate against it, these are one of the times where DEI actually came in clutch, especially for us melanated folks, because it's just like you can't discriminate against the texture of the hair no more. So you've seen a lot more braids, dreads in the workplace. Men are growing out their beards again. I mean, like I work in a establishment where damn near, if not all the men have beards. And it's the norm, right? So you guys, like, I don't think that stigma exists anymore. And I think I won't say more important, but as we're showing you in the video, women like beards.
They do.
Beards.
They do. I'm gonna tell you what women do. If you have a beard and they love you and they like you, they're gonna start playing with it, right? When you kiss them on the cheek, they start getting ticklish. Keep the beard. I don't understand why. You know what it is? I'm gonna tell you what it is. There is a stigma and an erroneous idea that hair is unhygienic. That is the problem. But you can clean the same way you clean yourself every single day when you take a shower or when you take a bath. You can clean your beard too. I don't understand that. Like every time I take a shower, I clean my hair and my beard every single day. So this idea that it's unhygienic is wrong. Number two, you got to understand the Egyptians and the Romans and currently to modern day America, they have created this custom to eliminate their beards. And that's wrong. That's completely wrong. And we're following these societies who's collapsed, right? And we're following their model of civilization. And that's foolishness. It's stupid.
Check this one out.
I think what you see, the men are different.
They're
The men are
nicer,
much more respectful.
No, because like before you could you be dancing and then after a while you gotta turn back like, who the heck is this? No, I could be pushing back like, he gonna come? Right? Like I hear doing the most work.
Sir, grab
Like,
this wine.
When
but
he
it's
finna
true.
they ain't come
But
in
it's
for
still
wine no
no,
more. Like they
but
stand up
even the whole
watching.
touching thing, because I always used to have an SPD and used to make me so annoyed when you pass people, they gotta touch you,
Yeah, that's
especially the men. Now,
nobody
They
hands
don't
up,
even come
girl.
at all. I was
Nah.
surprised when somebody
Yeah.
come behind me.
honestly,
It was it
they
was
get
very
shy.
shocking.
I'm kind of confused. You guys sound like you're upset. You don't get.
No, because
rushed
now
anymore.
look, when we used to get touched, it was annoying.
You
but
wanted to get bum
no,
rushed.
but you
don't want to get bum
going
rushed.
to the complete opposite side. You need a balance. Don't
Yeah.
touch me up disrespectfully.
Right.
But pull up on me.
Pull up,
You
you could have been
I
like,
just want. I feel like what you see.
So I don't want to be touched disrespectfully, but pull up on me. Before we chime in, let's actually see some of these comments, because one thing that came up to me, one thing that immediately showed up was Volumino verse. The only way to win is not play. I think that's well said. The toxic battleground. They want an opportunity to reject you. This person said everything is confusing. Yeah, I agree because uh I think the male host was saying that I'm confused. Like, do you want to get bum rushed or you don't want to get bum rushed? Like, it's not
That's
worth the risk. Yeah. What's your thoughts, James?
Yo, boo, boo. That's horrible. It is confusing advice. You can't say don't don't come up to me and touch me, but you want something. Listen, this is what they're trying to say. If you look ugly, don't come up to me. But if you look good and cute, you can go behind me. That's exactly what they're saying.
Yeah.
Point blank.
I
Period.
mean, honestly, you're absolutely right. The quote unquote disrespectfulness, it's pertaining to your looks. I mean, because I would venture to say ain't nothing more disrespectful than a guy straight up putting his meat on someone's back. That, I mean, that's disrespectful. And that's disrespectful. But again, if you're attractive, they don't mind. But this goes right back to the desperation that I'm talking about, because you see now women are starting to vocalize the change that they're experiencing. They wanted to be chased and they wanted the ability to complain, and just like that comment said, they want the ability to reject. They want the ability to feel like they chase. But now that men are not chasing anymore, that men are the prize, as we heard in that Must Love Beards video, right? Men are now viewing themselves as the prize. Now women are starting to sweat. You get like, hey, what's going on here? I thought we were the prize. You know, it's tough out here for these girls.
Another thing I want to say too is that we have to put blame on feminism and its extreme, right? Because they created the conditions of this. If you as a movement have said every man is a dog, every man is violent, every man is, dangerous, then guess what every man is going to do? They're not going to want to play, and that's it. So we do have to put a blame on the feminists as well.
Yeah. Let's check out what this brother has to say.
Why men don't go to the club anymore?
It costs too much. Parking costs too much. To drink costs too much. I don't really go to the club, so that's not my thing anymore. You basically going there as a dude to try to impress somebody and get the attention. Not all, but y'all already know what I mean. If you're a single dude and you see a pretty girl, you want to try to talk to her. She may not be interested unless you're trying to buy her a drink. And this is the number one thing that's actually new. You go to the club, let's say you want to dance with somebody, 95% of the time, women are only dancing on women, whether that be their friends or women they don't know. Now, I don't know why they do that the whole night at the club. That's something you got to ask them, but these are all telltale signs for you as a dude to just stop going to the club, build a skill, learn something, just stay out of that environment. You don't got to waste your time there chasing something that you're not even going to get,
Why men?
Man. And here's some of the other fellas in this chat. They saying Brian Starlin says, I've only been to the club twice, and both times I was invited but never wanted to go. Wow. It's a corny ass place where people go to lie about their lives and pretend to be important socialities. I don't know. I don't know what that last part was.
Socialites.
Socialites. Oh, important socialites. Oh, got you. Thanks. Darren Johnson 6609 says, why go to the club when you can spend the same but be at home? No fights, no gunfight, fighting over a woman, peace over chaos. Look at that. Waste of money. The club is a money pit. And, I'm reading these comments because, again, this is the mindset of a lot of the men. Like, you women out there, if you're watching this video, if you wonder why you're not seeing a lot of guys at the club, that's kind of what you were saying earlier on, right, James? Like, men rather probably do other things, right? Men are probably realizing, like, why do I got to go to the club? I could go to a sports club. Maybe I just want to watch the game. Maybe I want to go boxing. So, in other words, I think rather than you trying to fit a cube into a circle peg, a square peg into a circle, space. I mean, you guys got to realize, like, don't force men to be in spaces that you want to go to. You're gonna have to find out what men actually like to do and conform to that, because a lot of these men are opting out. Let me see. We have some other ones here. Check this out.
Oh, I'm back. I just been on vacation and on PTO, but I'm about to call y'all out. On something. Y'all remember when I made that Man versus Bear? And the girls were so upset when I said that y'all could be trapped in the woods with the bear and you got a better chance of the bear trying to holler at you, and that when you go out, men don't be trying to talk to you. You remember how all of y'all was stitching me and telling me about how y'all get dudes, and how dare I question that dudes be coming up to you and trying to holler at you and shooting their shot at you. Yet there's a video going around right now that's going viral about a pretty girl who talking about how she don't get hollered at when she go out. How dudes don't try to talk to her. And then you got multiple pretty girls stitching the video and talking about how dudes don't approach them either when they go out. But I was lying though, right? When y'all was making all the videos, I hope y'all still got it on y'all page where y'all was making all of these responses to me and telling you about how all these dudes be beating your door down to harass you every time you go out. Yet y'all online now complaining because dudes don't in actuality be bothering you when you go out. Yet you do sometimes be wanting dudes to say something to you when you be out, but they don't. Right? Y'all, that's the reason why I say the stuff I do about y'all. That's the reason why I go on PTO and I take breaks from this app, because y'all just be saying anything, right? You just be wanting to be mad because the stuff don't be a lie. The stuff be the truth that you don't want to face. When I said that the dudes don't be bothering you when you go out, I wasn't implying that y'all wasn't attractive girls. I wasn't implying it was because you was not cute. I was telling the truth. Most of y'all are not getting harassed when you go outside. You're not even getting asked for your number. And it don't got nothing to do with your looks or anything else. The dudes just ain't doing it no more. And can you really blame them? All y'all do is get online and bash men 24/7 and talk about how horrible they are, and then turn around and wonder why don't nobody want to say nothing to you when you be out. Be for real.
James, what's your thoughts, bro?
Hey man, I said this a couple of minutes ago. Feminism messed it up. You done label every man as a hooligan, as a danger to society. Men are oppressive. Men ain't shit. So why would men are looking at this and like, okay, if women don't like me, why should I even approach women? Not only that, the pretty women that are saying that men are not coming to them is multiple reasons, right? One, some guys automatically assume because you're pretty, you're taken. It's just reality. So they're not going to come up to you. They're probably like, oh man, she looked too good. She's taken already. You know what? It doesn't make sense to shoot my shot. Two, some men are just intimidated by your beauty. They feel like you're going to automatically reject them because you're just that beautiful. So they don't even try. You could be single, but they're not going to even try because you're that beautiful. And the third reason I mentioned is because feminism ruined it for men. Point blank, period. It's that simple.
Yeah, we have some comments here. The Rock says, we want peace, quiet, and we want to save our money and sanity. 3,607 likes. This Dora Rose said, I don't have time for a free headache. Wow. This is crazy. I just mind my business. Correct. This is from Cypress Minor. Correct. And it's unfortunate for the women who are actually trying to sincerely date and meet good men. Sad times we're in. And that's kind of my thing, right? Is like, I'm noticing that there are women who are naturally gonna, unfortunately, they probably have sincere intentions. They probably do want to be cuffed up, and they probably not trying to play the game. They probably just generally want a guy to cover them. But the times we live in, you got to blame, as you said, feminism. You got to blame the Me Too movement. You got to blame social media, where every little thing is viewed as harassment nowadays. You could just ask a girl, hey, do you know what aisle is the cereal section? And they're going to post you up, take their phone out, post you up, look at this creep, follow me around. It's not that serious. It's unfortunate because I think what we're witnessing is the decline of just organic interactions. And I want to say this too. I wonder how much it doesn't necessarily have to be answered in this video, but like maybe in the chat, maybe you guys could put it in the comment section, like how much did COVID play into it? Like when we were locked down for a whole year and we weren't interacting with one another as much, how much does that have to play with the decline of like real, genuine human interactions? I don't know. Do you have any last words, James?
As far as the club thing, I think we also have to talk about how hip hop ruined it. The men are not going to the club because, one, when you go to the club, these guys are so pretentious. They don't want to dance. They don't want to have a good time. Two, why would you want to go to a club when your ops is trying to look for you, right? And this is why fights break out. No, I'm being serious. I'm being dead serious. That whole hip-hop gangster mentality, these dudes want to have a good time, but they're reckless in the streets. So where they going to catch you when you go in the club? That's when your oppositions come and they're going to try to take you out. And this is why there's so much shootings in the club. This is why there's fights in the club. It makes no sense to go in the club. You think you're too cool because you have a freaking jersey, Timberland boots, and a do-rag, and you're just sitting on the wall, not wanting to dance. That's my last words. This is why men are not going to the club. I think hip-hop ruined it. Because in the 70s, it was all about dancing, and now hip-hop came in. Now it's you think you're too cool to dance. That's my final words.
All right, guys. If you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, comment down below, do all that YouTube stuff. It does definitely help us out. And also, please click on the link in the description section where you can subscribe to our official Eugene Brothers page. We're trying to grow that channel out as well. With that being said, Nick, James, over and out. Jesus is king, y'all.
Subscribe.